Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us here on NTV People's Parliament. We are coming to you from the beautiful Gulu City. Now, here we have a number of honorable members in the House that have come to deliberate on a number of issues. Now, these issues come at a time as Uganda is set for the general election 2026. A number of issues have been looked into by the different leaders, but also the members are here today to highlight on some of those things they look forward to ahead of the general election 2026. Now, you would be asking, why are we in Gulu today? Why are we in Gulu City? Why are we in Gulu District? I'll give you a few reasons later, but for now, I just want to highlight on a few things and a few facts here in Gulu District. I want you to know that Gulu has 10 sub-counties. It has 1 town council, 42 parishes, 153 villages, 13 cells, it has 5 wards, and apart from that, it has a total of 145 polling stations, and it has 58,430 registered voters. Now, this means that ahead of the general election 2026, Gulu is to play a very critical role because it has a huge population of the youth that are actively engaged in politics. So this means that Gulu is set and ready for the election, but also would like to know how ready are the voters, because the Electoral Commission has a mandate to educate the voters ahead of the general election on their role as citizens, but also on their role as voters. Have they been engaged enough here in Gulu City? Do the voters actually know the polling stations they're supposed to go to? Do they know the polling day? Also, do they know the manifestos of the different candidates that they seek to put in office come the general election? Do they have an idea what these manifestos mean? Now, the manifestos that have been portrayed or that have been read out by the different leaders, do they actually reflect the issues affecting Gulu residents? Do they speak to the residents of Gulu, or are they far-fetched simply because the leaders would love to take office or be in power? So today we're here to understand, what do the residents of Gulu want their next leader to delve into? Thank you so much for joining us. For now, I'm going to open the floor of the August House. So, Honorable Member, thank you so much for being part of this conversation. We have discussed a number of issues, and I would like to know, ahead of the general election 2026, what is that pressing issue that has brought you to the floor of the August House today?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank NTV for this opportunity.
A round of applause for NTV, because every time they mention me, I'm going to clap for myself.
And I want to thank all the honorable members present here for your time, honestly. My sister spoke strongly about education. If I had the will, we would have closed with the submission of Mwamukwe. He really summarized, actually. I want to bring to your attention something very critical. Madam Speaker, before I go to my point, NUSAF is Northern Uganda Social Action. But you will agree with me that we have NUSAF in Kapchorwa. We have NUSAF in Hoima. Are they under Northern Uganda? Is this government fair to the Acholi community who have suffered war of 20 years, who have suffered in the camps? Madam Speaker, we are in a democratic campaign which is highly dramatized. The members of parliament going are known. Decisions have long been taken. And so we cannot talk about quality of leaders because they have already been determined. The government officials know who they want to represent us in parliament, not that we are going to vote for them. Electoral Commission, I am asking you, is this fair to us? If leaders who are not credible are fronted to parliament, do they answer the needs of the Acholi? And so this is really a big drama in Acholi sub-region. A very big drama, sadly for us. Everybody knows that in Amuru North, honorable are called lost in our eyes. No one can come and follow me because what I'm speaking is nothing but the truth. But he is the honorable member of parliament going forward, thanks to the leadership in Acholi by the generals. We are talking about education. We are being led by people who are not educated. Unfortunately for us. And they are the people government embraces everything they front. What is this election for? How can we get out of this when we are not heard? When we can't vote? I come from Omoro district. There are cadres registered to vote in Omoro. Because they know as Omoro, we are going to vote not what they want. But it's been predetermined who should be the next woman member of parliament. Why? Electoral Commission, I'm asking you, how safe are we that we can go through this play, through this drama, and we are not protected? I beg Acholi sub-region, let us have leadership which is called true leadership. I appeal to this government, Mr. President Museveni, I loved you so much. I was an NRM cadre, not anymore. There is too much filth. There is no truth. There is no going forward in NRM. You want to go forward, you are crushed. Save for a few who have been selected, sorted for leadership.
Yes, we have the challenges, but as we stand in this house, we are here to also seek the way forward and what should be done. You're a leader. You're still a leader in this community, and your voice still impacts on the people that are supposed to head the general election 2026. So when you stand and say you have lost the morale to go and vote, how about for that other voter who is out there? How about for that other youth who didn't have the chance to vote in the last election and 5 years later they are 18 years old? Then what message are you sending as a leader? So Madam as you wind Speaker, up, I want your closing remarks. Because you see, voting is a right, but also a responsibility to each and every voter. Yes, you have said the EC has failed us. Yes, but as a leader, you also want to be elected in power for the next election. So I want you to stand there as a leader and give your winding remarks to that youth out there who just turned 18 and they have to vote.
I'm encouraging my people to vote. I'm asking every voter to go and vote massively. We are not happy with what happened to Robert Chagulanyi. And as opposition, we say do not vote the bus. We want to front opposition who have for the longest time been able to secure our lands.
Okay. Honorable Member, I would like to have you wind up and thank you for your submission. Like she has said, that is her stand as the Honorable Member, and thank you very, very much. Honorable Member, thank you so much for being part and parcel of this conversation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Lakwonyero Dennis Uchiani is my name. I am visually impaired. That's why I represent persons with disability in the Council of Gulu. Some benefits of NRM government to Ugandans and outsiders. One, we have affirmative action. That is why women, girls, youth, persons with disability, workers, and elderlies are represented. Is that not a benefit? There is a benefit in one way or the other that we have freedom of speech. That's why people are able to speak left and right. And we still say there is no liberty in Uganda. Is it true? I need to say that as we are in today, we talked about elections. It is true that this election, it is the right of somebody to go, get the ballot paper, and pick a person he or she wants.
So do you think persons with disabilities have been well represented at the polling station over the years? Look at the last election in 5 years later. And then we have, I beg to first push this forward, we have the old way that we used to vote for the last election, but also we are looking at the new way of using the biometric system. So do you think, have persons with disabilities been educated? That was the question when we began this. Has there been enough civic engagement? Has there been enough education from the Electoral Commission ahead of the general election to ensure a free and fair election? Let us walk in that line.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, sir.
It is the negligence of the Electoral Commission whom I feel they may know or they may not know their roles and responsibility. We have not been given humble civic education. But what I know is, if given chance, people can be guided to do right things at the right time. Madam Speaker,
As you wind up, sir, in just 30 seconds.
when we talk about leaders who are not well informed or not educated,
Yes.
I take a pity. The law permits somebody who has reached the age of 18 and has a certain level of education, that when you are to go to parliament, you should have at least a senior 6 document or an equivalent. And if vetted, that means you have the capacity. Unless people take it in a way that you must get up, shout, and make things which may not be coordinated. And if it is not coordinated, things will not match. I believe that there are benefits that we have got. I heard somebody saying that out of the last time election, many of the members of parliament were NRM, and a lot of bad things happened. We may not guarantee that it is because of the election of the members of parliament, NRM only, caused any other thing. And then when it comes to the governance of the country, I need to make it very well that each and everyone in a home has his roles and responsibility and has his rules and regulation to govern his or her own family. And if somebody has a gadget of leadership that to make me hold this power or have the mantle of authority, I should have A, B, C, D to make sure that my leadership goes successfully. That is how somebody might have planned.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you so much for watching NTV People's Parliament. For those that are watching from home, thank you for being part of this engagement. NTV People's Parliament is taking a very short break. When we return, we're going to delve back into some of the issues that have not yet been tackled. Stay tuned. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching NTV People's Parliament. And I would like to let you know that as we sit here in Gulu City, and we are in Gulu as a district, Gulu City and the wider Choli sub-region has over the years reconstructed, even after years of war, even after those years, after the so many challenges they faced during the war, they have rebuilt. However, there are some challenges that still remain, and the residents feel like they should be tackled. So today we are here in Gulu City to have residents deliberate on some of these issues ahead of the general election 2026. We are looking at the quality of leadership, but we're also looking at the quality of the voters. Yes, the voters have a right to go to the polls, but they should know that there is also a right for either the Electoral Commission or the police to be able to streamline and find peace and order in case things are going astray. So as we sit here as members of parliament, we should also understand that we have a right as voters, but we also have a right to remain as peaceful as we can ahead of the general election. Honorable Member, thank you so much for being part of this conversation.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Madam Speaker, and my colleagues, the August members. My name, as I said once again, my name is Burlington Pongwech. I'm a resident in Gulu District, and I represent the people of Mwatira as a Councillor 5 in this great council. I want to start by addressing myself to the political situation in Gulu City here. Madam Speaker and all the Ugandans, I must say that the political environment in Gulu City, as we talk now, it is life-threatening. All of us, we are worried. We are worried why? As we speak now, we have already lost a life 2 weeks ago when one of the candidates for the presidential position came. That's Bobby Wine. And as the people of Acholi, we are condemning that. And we want this to be on record, that we want the national chairperson of the NRM to come out openly to condemn this act.
Honorable Member, I would like to bring this knowledge closer as a media personality. We have delved deep into some of these, quote in quotes, police brutality. And we've had response from upper officers. But also police says there are instances where they are provoked as security members. So as we stand to condemn the violence, as we stand to condemn the beating, what is also your take, or what do you give the youth, the rally goers to these campaigns?
These youths were innocent.
I want it to be a general message. Because you see, we've also had issues and also instances where policemen have lost their lives. They've been attacked over the years. We have seen those too. We can't take them, they're isolated, but we can't say that they've not happened.
My interest, it is directly to the perpetrators, of which they are the people in uniform.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, all these actions happen in their watchful eyes. And if they cannot come out openly to condemn it, then which means it was done actually in their interest. These boys...
Let me have that information at the back.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, please.
I honor your desk. My name is Lalam Florence. I am a leader, a local leader here. Madam Speaker, the information I would like to give is that I personally witnessed what happened. First of all, Madam Speaker, you said that some of these people are provoked, okay? They are provoked. The information I'm first going to give in terms of questions. Number one.
No, you're not going to ask questions in the house.
I am answering.
Yeah, okay.
I'm answering with a question.
Okay.
The issue is, what is the army doing on the street on an electoral activity? For them to go and look for the provocation, who is to blame at that point? A soldier is supposed to be on the street with the tankers and all these ugly vehicles that we last saw during the LRA war. They are all on the streets. Why actually go and provoke the local people, the civilians? They also have temper. You cane them, you beat them up and do all that. And then at the end of the day, you say that because your soldiers or your police, you were provoked. Madam Speaker, this is totally and totally not allowed.
Please, I want you to wind up on matters of social development, matters of social services ahead of the general election. Just in 30 seconds, please highlight and let us know what are you looking for in your next leader as we head the general election when it comes to social services and deliverance.
Yeah, thank you. As I wind up, I want to talk about our local government financing by the central government. As we usher into the new regime, I must say that as local government, we are not being financed efficiently. to give enough services to our people. The case in point, in Gulu, as we talk, and across all local governments, it is very challenging that every year, when we go to approve a budget, you could realize that almost above 80% of the budget that we do approve always goes to finance wages, salaries, and then non-wages. It is even less than 10% that goes for capital development. It is very challenging, and that's the reason when you move to all our schools, you'll find the school without chairs, with broken desks, without classroom, with shoddy, with dilapidated classroom, without any proper management, because there is nothing that goes to see that really we take care of our children at school.
So this explains
So
the
it
poor
is-
service delivery.
It is very challenging. So our appeal to the government has a lot of money. You could have been hearing how people spent money in this campaign. And after the campaign, you realize that almost 50 billion have been spent. But now, after the election, come and analyze the budget for the local government and even the national budget.
Okay,
you
thank
will
you.
see that all our money that we have been collecting as local revenue goes to facilitate the campaign of the ruling party.
Thank
Very
you.
little that
Honor-
come to benefit the taxpayers.
Honorable Member, let us lay that to rest. Thank you so much for that submission. The taxpayers out there, the Honorable Member feels for your taxes, and he has deliberated on that issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Please, Honorable Member, come and give the floor. And I would like also to recognize the Office of the RCC. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. I want to recognize this gentleman. He was the very first person to arrive here today. A round of applause. He waited for all of you to come through, so please let us give him a little bit of maximum respect. So, Honorable Member, thank you for being part of this conversation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and my colleague, the Member of Parliament, in your various capacity. My name is Patrick Komakech. I'm the chairperson of L3 for Pateko Sub-County, and I'm also the chairperson of all L3s in Gulu District. I am so grateful that, again, NTV has come back. Sometime back, under the leadership of Agnes Nandudu, NTV also appeared in our district here, or in our city. So we are grateful for considering our region time and again. I think that is a sign that there is a unity in the country, that all the sub-region, the information in those places need to be known across the country. I want to say that our leaders of today, they are not like those leaders of those days. The leader of these days, most of them promote corruption. Why am I saying this? Because the decision that they make in their respective council sometimes may not be good enough. Let me cite an example. When you hear a council coming out and saying that wetlands should be given out to an investor, definitely that is not a good council. To me, I think that means it is a very wrong leadership in the system, because our wetland need to be protected. Apart from that one, in this very August House, there was a debate, which I don't know whether it has already materialized, giving Pese War Memorial Stadium to National Council of Sport, leaving now the entire population of this community not to now have power in this very War Memorial Stadium. To me, I look at that one as it is a disservice to our community. Along that line, I think our leaders are more of party-oriented. They are not now pro-people, they are pro-party. If our leaders are pro-party, I'm telling you, the services, the kind of services they will be giving, it will be only aligned to a particular party.
Yes.
I want to say that if we want our communities to get our information better, we need to be pro-people. I want to put this one on record. Our honorable councillor Rees, for the last 42 months, coming now to 3.5 years, they have not got their honoraria of 35,000 shillings. Look along that line. It is this council that I'm talking about, Gulu District. Let me be very clear. They have not paid our honorable councillor 3 in the different sub-counties their honoraria of only 35,000 shillings. What a shame to this kind of leadership. Because you cannot work without getting the stipend for your whatever. PDM people are saying PDM is there in the country. I want to say my sub-county, I have only 2 parishes. I have pushed for creating more administrative units, the parishes It has come to this council, they're pushed to the parliament, it is stuck. How can you serve a 34,000 population with only 2 parishes and the money come in a dwindle kind of approach? Definitely, the services are not reaching our community. If this NTV can re-echo our information up to the national level, I pray the president should consider and then ensure that in his docket, he declare my sub-county created with more administrative unit so that our population enjoy the so-called parish development model as a money that they're saying it is everywhere. Then coming on the issue of election, I think the Electoral Commission has not done enough. The Electoral Commission need to have done more than what he has done up to this particular moment. Because look at that, the civic education, the human right, all this one, our community are just at par. No, none of them even know what they're doing. At the moment, they're telling us that people should go and get their voter slip. But now the information is even not reaching any other person. What are we going to do to ensure that the Electoral Commission does what is required? Then there is low and high dropout rate in our community. Why is this happening? Because of poverty? Why is this happening? Because there are poor infrastructure in our community? Why is this happening? Because we don't have good roads. The road for us, Gulu District, when we are to see Lam or Tarmac Road, we just, until when we reach Gulu City, that's when we see Tarmac Road. We hear people in Uganda that they have Tarmac Road, but in Gulu District, we don't have Tarmac Road. It is on record. The president must get to know that there is no Tarmac Road in Gulu District. Those who will say there is Tarmac Road here, they are just coming here to fabricate information. Because for me, I'm an LCD of the district. Then there is teacher shortage and effectiveness. There is poor effectiveness of our teachers because of low payment. How can you? Because we have to invest in education. If our teachers are not given a good enumeration, definitely there's no problem. They will do nothing completely. So it is now upon this NTV that has come to ensure that our information reaches the high apex of the country. So that they get to know that even if they're sitting there, they're doing caucus kind of meeting there, they must get to know that they have to be consultative. Come up down here, consult the community, then community tell them what the information. So that they get to know why things are actually not equitably distributed and not other sub-regions are equally getting the same benefit like those other ones. I want to rest my case by saying, even in Gulu District, we have never had any ministers in this government that has stayed for 40 years. We have never seen anybody, even if you go in NRM party ticket, you go in whose ticket, you go in anybody's ticket, there is nothing like getting ministerial position. Why must this be like that? Yet other constituencies, there are a lot of ministerial positions. Everybody is just a big shot. You hear this convoy moving everywhere, but in Gulu District, you hardly hear that. When you hear, it is somebody going either to South Sudan, going either where, or ambulance going to pick the sick people, or what. That is the challenge we are in. Thank you so much, NTV. I think, Gulu, today, our problem could be heard, but people must speak the truth. People must avoid covering issues. If you are here as a staff posted here, you should speak what affects our community. Unfortunately, some people speak just to get benefit and to get their salary. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, for that submission. And he has clearly highlighted that post-conflict recovery goes beyond infrastructure. He says a lot has to be done. There's mindset change, there is rehabilitation, and looking deeper into the challenges and the issues that Gulu is facing as a district, as a city, and also the entire Acholi sub-region. For those that are watching from home, you're still watching NTV People's Parliament, and I'm going to be taking a very short break, and when I return, we shall delve back into this conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching NTV People's Parliament. Before we delve into the conversation, I want to highlight that Article 60, Clause 2 of the Electoral Commission says that the Electoral Commission shall conduct and ensure an electoral process is conducted that is free and fair and in a transparent manner. Now, this includes educating the electorate on the electoral process. We are here in Gulu District and Gulu City to understand, has there been civic education? Has there been voter engagement when it comes to the Electoral Commission? However, why are we looking into the electoral process? Because this leads to the service delivery in any district, in any constituent. Why? Because the leaders that we appoint, the leaders that we elect into power determine how our nation is going to be run. Because these are people that are supposed to hold accountable. We are in Gulu and the residents are speaking to us. In this particular moment, I would like to have a youth to come and represent other youth here in Gulu City to clearly elaborate that have the youth been engaged or they're just being used during the electoral process? Are they simply used in this process and after the process they are left hanging?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Richard. I'm a male youth councillor candidate for Gulu City. I want to say that from the period of the election that has started, the young people of Gulu and Acholi in particular, they are left out on their roles during electoral process. Why? We have been given opportunity to represent ourselves, to contest, but our election is being interfered by the police, by the military, particularly in Gulu City. I'm one of the candidates that petitioned the electoral commissioner because the candidate are running against, it is the incumbent male youth councillor 5 of Gulu City. And this is the same person came back again to contest as a male youth councillor 5 of Gulu City. The details shows that in the city council that the person entered in the office in 2021 when he was already age 28, born in 1993. The person went, forged documents, we challenged the election commissioner, we wrote petitions. Up to now, the returning officer of Gulu City never wrote to us, never told us why he nominated the candidate, after blocking him on the first day of the nomination. The only thing he told me, he received a lot of phone calls from the generals, from the police, from the highly connected people in this government. So I can tell you, the Right Honorable Speaker, that the youth voice and the youth representation in Gulu City has been maneuvered by the soldiers, by the police, and the big shots in the government of Gulu City. I can tell you as well that the youth empowerment funds that we talked about in terms of service delivery to empower them, Gulu City in the financial year 2023 to 2024 has received 423 million. But out of this money, only 100 million has already been disbursed to the youth. And if you see the detail of those who receive the money of this youth level youth, are people who are not youth. I can assure you that the people who are receiving the money are the people who call themselves the senior youth who are not youth. And I can tell you that there's no success story of a young people in Gulu City who have received youth level youth fund and their life has changed. So there's no service delivery that the young people are getting. In terms of infrastructures, we have seen our young people who have papers in the field of engineering. We have young people who have papers, maybe in even field of digital economy, but in Gulu City, even no one has been employed. Some of these young people coming from the family of someone who is a politician in the city council, someone who is coming from the angle who is maybe the father is connected to member of parliament, or the mother is working in the council. So I can assure you that the young people in Gulu City are languishing in poverty. They are not empowered. That's why if they have been called for a peanut to go and beat people in the street, they have done it on the 6th because they don't have where to belong. They don't have sense of direction. To annoy you the most, the honorable members, I can tell you that even at Gulu University that we are studying, you can see the population of students at Gulu University. 74% of them are privately sponsored students. It is only a few percent of the students that are on scholarship. Many of them are not even coming from here, but they are on government scholarship, but they are on state house scholarship. I can tell you 15% of the students just concluding exam that we have done, they have missed exam because they cannot pay 200,000, 300,000 as their fees. Even the PDM that have been given to Gulu City, they have said 30% has been given to the youth. But I can tell you, no success story of a young person in Gulu City who have received the 1 million has done something with this money. Many of them get this money because of our financial background, because of the poverty that we have been during the war time. People get money, you need to feed yourself. You can't even have anything to eat. Some of these young people does not even have where to sleep. Tell the government, instead of giving 1 million, give us a cow, give us a tractor. If you give me a tractor, I organize groups, youth in groups. We have a plow, a garden with a tractor. We can do a modern farm in terms of tomatoes growing. We can even plant something to do with cabbages. We can supply Gulu City market with the products that but the 1 million, I can tell you, the young people will buy clothes, Some of them will buy woofers the way they're doing. Some of them will get another girlfriend. They will buy a smartphone. And that is the impact of the 1 million of the PDM Gulu City is receiving as far as youth is concerned.
We have a honorable member who is objecting. They're saying you're lying. So, honorable member, what is he lying about?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. What he was saying, that all the flag bearers that are running, they're the son or the daughters of generals, ministers, the leaders, but I'm here. I'm the sister to general. But I failed to go through during primaries. Why? The parties looked at the capability of a leader who should go this time and who should go next. Then people come to vote. For me, I just failed. My vote was actually somehow I didn't go through. So it doesn't mean general or minister is behind their children. That is a total lie. Then secondly, Madam Speaker, what he was mentioning that the youth of Gulu City are not benefiting in government programs. That one, Madam Speaker, is a total lie. The youth got the piggery, the youth got the youth livelihood funds, the youth were being supported only. The youth that are complaining they are good, that one I can support him, that they are good need to be supported with a start-up capitals, a special grant for them, for their good.
He has
to
said,
stop this what?
But he has said even when they're given startup,
yes,
they still use the money the other way. And you earlier talked about sensitization and education.
That is
so
it.
I think we should change the form of how the funds are given.
Madam Speaker.
Yes. And as you wind up.
We have the presidential hub here at
Yes.
Uding, but that one is not enough for us. We need enough slots for the AGU, for the child mothers to be educated, for the skill training. At least this school should be per district, not only this one, to enough our youth, to make them get enough skilling, training in their district, in their respective district. Not only this one for the region.
Okay, thank you.
That is not enough.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Madam Speaker,
Yes.
I think the person has not got my communication very well. I was directing my message that the youth representative that has been contesting are sons and daughters of the generals, of the ministers, even the previous one. I didn't mean people who contested for directly member of parliament like her. Secondly, Madam Speaker, she talked about the youth project that has been given. I can tell you, in Gulu City, the structures of the young people are only 9 in a ward. I can tell you the president in 2023 gave cows, haifa, to the councillors of youth in Uganda. But I can tell you the one of Gulu City was sold from Kampala, never reached here. I beg to submit.
Thank you very much. Emotions are running high. I'm going to come to you. You're just going to help me hold on. Please, Honorable Member, before I come to you, I have 2 youth. Please come. And the lady already gave her submission. I have a lady, and then I have 2 gentlemen. And no, not you, Honorable Member. First, put down your hand. You're the person behind you. So when I point, you don't come. But after 3 people. Yes, please, Honorable Member.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I want to make 2 or 3 submissions. By the names, I'm called Martin Odong. I'm a journalist and also a community advocate. People are speaking from the perspective of only politicians. I see I'm vying for this and this position, but I want to represent the common man. When you look at Gulu City in terms of service delivery, as I talk, majority of our mothers, their national IDs are not with them. The Balal have collected their national IDs. So, and they charge these women higher interest rate. Now we say that government has brought in PDM. Yes, they say you give applause where it is due. We appreciate the government for bringing the PDM, the web. We have to give applause. But the truth is, there is too much corruption. We all remember in Gulu City here.
Honorable Member, I want you to give context. You didn't tell us why the IDs are collected. Why? You're just saying that they are collecting IDs. Why are these IDs? Why? Because it's my ID. Why is it being collected? Are they collected or they are giving them out? They are giving them willingly. What is that? You're not giving context.
Okay, thank you so much.
What are we talking about?
Our mothers, because the economic status, in fact, they don't have startup capital. Their businesses are dying. They are living on loans, so they go to borrow quick loans from those Balalo, you know, Achula has been, we've been in war, so people are just recovering. So they go and borrow loans to sustain their business because on record, we have so many female-headed homes. So mothers are like husbands, they are also like wives. They are playing two roles at the same time. So for you to be able to sustain your household, you need to have sources of income. They go and borrow loans, and these people, their security is the national ID. And you know, once a national ID is taken, in the hospital, you can't get medical health. In government facilities, you can't be held because they need your national ID. So their IDs are with them. That indicates that there's a problem when it comes to social services. We talked about that PDM is there. Yes, it is there. But you see, there is systematic selection of members. You know, someone who knows who where. Someone who knows a friend brings a colleague. A friend who knows a colleague brings on record. The principal commercial officer of Gulu was arrested for embezzling 10 million, you know, at Temo in 2024. Because you want context, he was arrested. It's on record. You can check on Daily Monitor. Was arrested because of corruption. When we are saying that there's issue with service delivery, yes, there's serious issue that has to be fixed. These new people that were voted in 2021, I have to be honest, I've never seen a new tarmac road in this Gulu City. When these people came in town, there's no new tarmac road. We are talking about service delivery. I was one of the people in the front line advocating for tarmac of Patero Road. We are not seeing new tarmac. So we complain. We have a right to complain because there's poor service delivery. As I talk, we have hospitals along that road. Now, the dry season is intensifying. Some services like antenatal have to be closed because mothers cannot go and produce birth in a ward that is affected by dust. You know, blood transfusion services. So they just refer. So what are the purposes of those hospitals on those roads? So it means services have to be improved. Hospitals have to be, you know, a hospital, being of the hospital there is okay. We thank the government for bringing the health facilities. RDC, we appreciate your office for the hospitals. But a hospital without medicine, with understaffing, it's on record, according to a performance review of the local government by the ministry, by the office of the Prime Minister, local government assessment of service delivery in 2023. Gulu City ranked 75 in the entire country. 75. And Gulu District was 91. That shows you that we have issues with service delivery in this country that has to be fixed. As youth of Gulu City and actually sub-region, we need, you know, skilling, more presidential skilling hubs has to be added in this sub-region. And besides, you know, in every district has to admit only, is it 20 people? 20 people per intake, which is too small. When you look at there are about 8 districts in actually sub-region, it is small. And the number of youth that sit in that review, the selection committee for the youth to be chosen to benefit from the presidential hub, only 2. And sometimes this civil servant, his relative was not admitted from Amoro. He wants to benefit from the slot that is in Gulu City. We need to stop that. We need to fight corruption and nepotism. And nepotism.
Okay,
it has to stop.
Thank you.
We have to stop that. Then, secondly, you know, we need industries, because when we have more industries, we limit the number of youth running to Kampala to fight for those limited opportunities. We need industries here. I'm glad there's a plan to establish one in Badegla Ibi. We need to work those things so that Gulu develops. So the youth in Achule sub-region, we don't run to Kampala looking for opportunities. Opportunities should find us here. We believe that Gulu should be a model city for the entire northern Uganda, and we call upon the government in humility. The government of Museveni, we know the problem is some people who are covering up Museveni, they are not good people. They don't have a heart to serve the people. They want them and their relatives, and that should stop if Gulu City and our service delivery is enhanced in this area. Hospitals, we need to pile enough medication in those facilities. Security, you know, we need to avoid interference with electoral process.
Thank you. Thank
it's
you.
So sad.
Now you're moving in circles and we are repeating what we earlier said, but thank you, because you have talked about how the election should be held. service delivery, and if you continue now, you're moving back in circles. Because I know they also realize you have called upon them, now you're going back to call upon them. So I would like to thank you for your submission. We are moving in circles, I've realized, but if you've been part of this conversation, for those that are watching from home, we shall be in Gulu District and Gulu City again next week to bring you yet another fresh episode in partnership with the NGO Forum. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation.